Welcome to another episode of Leverage with Rebecca Zung. I have such a treat for you today. This is one of my favorite people on the planet. If you don't already know who he is, he's going to become one of yours as well. Jon Gordon is an international best-selling author. He wrote many, many books. I don't know, 30 something at this point probably. And Energy Bus is the OG. It's one of my favorite books on the planet. I would say it's like top 10 for me. So if you haven't read that, you got to read it now. Power of Positive Leadership, The One Truth. There's so many. He's got a brand new book out, The Power of Positive Habits, we're going to talk about today. Welcome, Jon.
Thanks for having me. It's great to see you again.
Good to see you. We should disclose that, Jon's wife is one of my dearest friends. So this is so fun for me. So you've got a new book. You always are so good at distilling down information and putting it in such a simple way. It's almost like deceptively simple because it almost, you're brilliant. And so I am like, I love the way you're so good at chunking things down and making it so usable for the listener. So tell me about the Power of Positive Habits, how that came about.
Yeah, well, for years, I've been writing about positive habits. I've been writing these tips every week, ever since 2002, when Catherine threatened to leave me because I was so negative. I was so miserable. She said, if you don't change, we're over. And so I wanted to stay married, so I agreed to change.
Well, because she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome. I love her. And I was unfortunately crumbling because I lost my job during the dot-com crash. Didn't know how I was going to pay the bills, support my family, full of fear, anxiety, and being really negative.
Yeah.
And that's when she gave me that ultimatum. And I knew I wanted to change. I knew I had to change. So I began researching ways I could be more positive. And this was during the emerging field of positive psychology. And one of those ideas was you can't be stressed and thankful at the same time. So if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling grateful, you won't be stressed. So I began a thank you walk every day where I would walk and just say what I was thankful for. I coined that term, thank you walk. And something in me shifted. Like I felt a difference. Catherine noticed a difference, so she agreed to stay.
Yeah.
And that began this journey of writing what I was doing. So I began a weekly positive tip back in 2002 and was sending out these positive tips every single week. And it's so funny because now full circle, 20 something years later, right? 25 years later, I'm now writing a book about all these habits that I've done over the years.
That you've been doing anyway.
Yeah, that I've been doing myself, but also been sharing with my readers, with my clients, sports teams and businesses and school districts and CEOs and high performers, sharing them with them these habits that really have exponentially grown them. And so I said, I'm going to put this into a book now, all these years later, and just share what I've been doing. It's like my greatest hits of my best ideas. But also, I also researched a bunch recently as I was writing it to add some new habits to it, things that I didn't know about, physical habits that would help someone have longevity, increase alertness, more energy. So I put those in the book as well. And that's what made me want to do it. I wanted to share this collection of habits that could really help someone grow, but also so they can grow others. So they can make a bigger impact on the people that they're leading, that they're parenting, that they're helping. Because as you know, when a leader grows, they're able to grow others. And that was the purpose of the book. I had like a leader in mind. I wanted them to read it and then share it with their team and others. And then everyone says, okay, we can go get better. Sort of like
your avatar.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's step back before you even get to habits, because I think having a little conversation about the neuroscience of what's going on here and how, we've got these neuronal pathways that were formed as children and, young adults as we're coming up in the world. And so, you had neuronal habits, we all do, that, back in 2002 caused you to, I think it was a habit to think in a negative way. And, I always say I can never leave my thoughts unsupervised because, as soon as you do, then they're off on bad neighborhoods, right? Straight to the ghetto. And so, I've also developed habits. Like I do a heart coherence meditation every day and I pray every morning, so tell us what that looks like from a neuroscience point of view and why habits are so important.
Well, it's like that walk of gratitude I was doing every day. What that does is it rewires your brain. You literally rewire your brain, and you get pathways, you get highways to positive habits, and then you want dirt roads to negative habits. The other way, we have these highways to negative habits, and we have dirt roads to positive habits. So the more you do a positive habit, you actually develop that expansion within your mind, that greater connection, and the brain starts firing in different ways. And so now you actually have a different neural pathway. And so your habit is much easier to do when it becomes a highway, when it becomes a strong road forward. And so that's the power of this book, actually, is that I gave people 93 habits in there that will exponentially grow them. But this is not a book about how to make habits stick. Those books have already been written, The Science of Habits. What this book is, habits that actually stick. So these are habits that when you do, they're easy to do. They're practical. They're simple. They're powerful. Then after you do them, you actually feel good. Then you get addicted to them, and then you want to do them. A lot of times we try to do habits that we don't really want to do, that we don't like. And so we're trying to be disciplined, but we don't really want to do it, so we don't continue it. This is about, hey, you could have this habit of talking to yourself instead of listening to yourself. You could actually start walking after meals. A 10-minute walk after meals will make you feel so much better when you do that. Improve your metabolism, your digestion, your blood sugar level. Getting out in the morning in the sunlight is such a key habit to start your day. Get more sunlight on the eyes, and then that alerts your body to produce cortisol. Then you feel more alert, you feel energized, and it actually helps you sleep better at night. So there's all these different habits, but a lot of them are also mental habits, because thinking is a habit. But there's also physical habits. And again, when we start doing the physical habits, at first it's uncomfortable. So it's not just our brain, but our body. Like when I started to do squatting like a child, which is I wrote about, I found this great research on it. I'm like, I gotta start doing this.
So what does this mean, squatting like a child?
Okay, so when you first, I couldn't get past a chair when I started this. Like I could only get down here. I literally couldn't get any lower. But squatting like a child is where you get all the way down. All the way to the ground. Like as low as you can go. Like all the way down. Children just squat like this. They just sit like this. People in countries where they live.
It's a yoga move.
In countries where they live a really long time, they're able to do that. In our society, unfortunately, a lot of people cannot even squat anymore. And that affects your longevity, your health. So in countries where people are squatting a lot like that, they have greater longevity, greater health. So just that one little physical exercise will make a big difference in your life.
So let's talk about starting small with habits, because I think, people, there's so much written about the New Year's resolutions. Right? Oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds and I'm going to, start working out every day, and I'm going to eat healthy, and I'm never going to eat, carbs or whatever it is. Gluten is a big thing. Tell us about the importance of starting small.
That is one of the best things you can do, and that's what this book is all about. These are simple habits that are small habits. Habits that you can do. You can get a win, and then you feel good. I had a guy just email me recently, man, I'm reading your book. I'm reading a couple a day. I'm doing one of them. I feel like a success. I'm motivated. I feel good. Then I read another one. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I start doing that. Now, I'm not saying do all 93 habits, but you pick the ones that you can do and that you feel good doing. And as I said, you want to do them over and over again, but they're very simple. I believe a thank you walk. Don't do an hour thank you walk. Just start with 10 minutes. 10 minutes of a thank you walk. Go around the block. That will be a win, and you'll feel better. Then you do it again. All right. Then eventually you're doing 20 minutes. Then you're probably doing 30 minutes. Now I'm doing an hour, an hour and a half. But I feel good doing that. Or, again, taking a nap. I'm not saying take a nap every day, but a power nap is actually really good for you. A 20-minute power nap is a great thing to do. Okay, start with a power nap. Little habits that you can do. One of my favorite habits in there also is the habit before the habit.
Okay, so tell us about that.
So the habit before the habit is actually where it all starts. Like if you want to engage in a new habit, what should you do? Have the habit before the habit, which means you want to work out in the morning. So what do? Put out your clothes and your sneakers the night before.
Oh, yeah.
So when you get up, you see it, less friction, and you're more likely to do it.
Yep.
You want to read at night. Put that book that you want to read on your bed.
Yeah, put it right there.
Right there. You go to bed, you'll see it.
You have to actually physically move it if
you're more likely to do it. Say, I know you have a team, and you want to let your team know you care about them. So you say, you know what, I'm going to send a video a day to one of my team members.
Oh.
That might be a habit. So how do you implement the habit? Make sure you have that person's name written down and their number's ready to go on your phone, so when you do the video, you can send it right to them. You want to remove friction, and any habit before the habit allows you to do that.
Oh, I like that. Habit before the habit. Here's one that I really like, which is focus on winning people instead of arguments.
Yeah. You know, you go out with certain people and see certain friends, and they just want to argue the whole time.
Yeah.
They want to debate, and they want to be right.
Yeah.
No one wants to hang out with that person.
Yeah.
The person who is always right is often alone. So don't try to argue. Don't debate. Don't worry about winning the argument. Just win the person. Like, care more about the person. Care more about the relationship than winning the argument. That's going to go a long way in terms of the relationships that you develop. And relationships are everything. That's why one of the habits is to actually spend time with great friends.
Oh, I know. I was actually going to bring that.
You and Catherine went out last night.
Yeah.
You hung out with you two and Tracy.
Yeah.
And she came back and she enjoyed it so much. She felt alive and energized. I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah, same. Okay.
That's a nurturing effect.
Yeah.
But yet so often we get so busy
yeah.
that we don't even make time to spend with close friends.
Right.
So it's a habit. Like, you got to make it a habit to say, okay, every week or every month, I'm going to get together with some great friends to feel energized, to nurture myself, to nurture the relationships. Why wouldn't you? It's so healthy.
It is so good. I mean, it's so wonderful because, you know, you guys are only here for a couple of days, and, you know, we were able to squeeze it in and make it happen.
Yeah.
And it was so worth it because, you know, you walk away and it energizes you for days, you know, just feeling that energy.
During the pandemic, when people were not getting together, I got together with my friends from college. I flew up to Boston, to Cape Cod, got together with my friends who I hadn't seen in years. We played golf, we hung out together, we talked, and it was so nurturing. I remember looking back, like, that was such a special time. Like, we all needed that connection.
Totally.
And in doing so, we found a greater healing.
Yeah.
And that actually transformed me during that time and really led to me realizing how important relationships are.
Well, you're so excellent at forming relationships, and not just like as couples, but you also have relationships with men, which is actually kind of rare, I think, with men. So I think maybe talk about that for a moment, because I think that's a special gift that you have.
Well, I'm not sure I always had it. I've always had friends, but it was really after the pandemic when I realized how important relationships were that I became more intentional with it, especially when I formed my own circle. And these are a group of people that I mentor. And I said, all right, I'm going to have this circle, this mastermind, and I'm going to pour into these people and mentor them, and then allow them to support and, you know, mentor each other and really be there for each other. Iron sharpens iron. And it's really been incredible. It's not just men, it's also women. And we all get together and we talk and share. And that's been incredible. And also, yes, in my relationships, I've made an intentional focus to really spend more time investing in my marriage, my friends, my kids, my team, my family, and just others, because it matters so much. You have to just be intentional with it.
You really do have to be intentional with it.
Yeah.
I know my husband and I, we have a contract. We read it every night. We pray together every morning. We have a weekly meeting where we go over things.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, well, it's been a lot of work, as you know.
That's some great habits right there, though. I mean, what you just said, though, are a series of habits that is strengthening your relationship and your marriage. And if you don't do those, you're not going to be as strong.
No.
Well, guess what? The habits you choose for your life will make you strong. The habits you choose for your relationships will make you strong.
And I made a decision in the past year to spend more time with girlfriends too, which I've been doing on a weekly basis or more. And it's very nurturing.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are some of your other favorite habits in here?
There's so many, but the one that I truly just always go to is to become your own greatest encourager. That's a habit. To really encourage yourself. Because so often we don't encourage ourselves. We beat ourselves up. We are our own worst critic, not our greatest encourager.
Yeah.
And if you had a best friend who was struggling, would you tell them, yeah, you're not going to make it. You should give up. Yeah, it's hopeless. Like, yeah, I wouldn't go forward. You would never say that. You would tell them, hey, I believe in you. I know you're stronger than you think. I know you can do it. You would encourage them. And that's what you should do to yourself. We all need the encouragement of others, and that's important. We all should encourage others, but we should become our own greatest encourager, where every day you're like, Rebecca, you got this. I believe in you, Rebecca. You are strong. You are powerful. You can make this happen. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. We need to do that, because negative thoughts are always coming in. And when they come in, do they come from you? And people say, yeah, they're in my head. But here's the next question. If you believe your negative thoughts are coming from you, who would ever choose to have a negative thought?
Yeah.
They're not coming from you. It comes in so fast that you think it's from you. And then you speak it out loud, you reinforce it, and then it does become a part of you. So I always tell people, you don't have the power of the first thought, but you have the power of the second thought. And you're not the thoughts you think, you're the thoughts you believe. So when a negative thought comes in, don't believe it, don't give it energy. Instead, speak truth to it, speak a word of life to it, and speak encouragement. And as you're encouraging yourself through the challenges, the adversity, the setbacks, you're lifting yourself up and you're giving yourself strength. And you need that, because we live in a world that wants to tear you down. And we live in a world where there is this battle between positive and negative going on. The negative thoughts want to sabotage you, and the positive thoughts will uplift you. So encourage yourself, and you'll take on this world in a more powerful way.
I love that. The other one that you have in here is looking at, it's sort of like breakdowns as blessings. I don't know exactly the wording that you use, but it's something to that effect, right? It was, I just saw it in here. It was like basically when there's adversity.
Oh yeah, you see it as your partner in growth.
Yes, yes.
So adversity is your partner. And in many ways, we don't think of adversity as blessings, but they are, because they make us stronger. They make us wiser. They make us better.
It's a lesson that we learn.
Yeah. Well, think about everything you've gone through in your life. Are you stronger because of it?
Oh yeah, and it is, I think more empathetic to others and more understanding, more compassionate.
Yeah. It made you better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So adversity is your
and
partner.
then you just try not to make those same mistakes again.
Right.
Not that you do, but we're not always perfect, but we do try.
Right.
To at least be better.
Yeah. So when you go through adversity, a habit is, okay, I'm going through it. See it for what it is, and realize, okay, this is going to make me stronger. This is going to make me better. This is going to make me more compassionate, more empathetic, or more resilient. Whatever it may be, I know this adversity is my partner in growth, and I know that if I look at it the right way, it's going to fuel me. People think adversity makes you stronger. Not always. It could actually break you, or it could lead to a breakthrough. And the choice is yours and how you see it. So a lot of this book is mental habits, because thinking is a habit.
I always say the first negotiation you have to do sometimes is with your own thoughts in the morning, for your own self-worth.
I like
or whatever.
that. Negotiate with you. Negotiate with your negative self in order to win.
Exactly.
And that's the key part of it. So I love that one. I also love Forgive Fast. That's one of my favorites, because we do have to forgive and let go of the wrongs of the past, the burdens, the people that have hurt us. It's like we're grasping hot coal with the intent at throwing it at someone else. We're the one who's getting burned. But if you can just release it and let it go and forgive fast, the faster you forgive, the sooner you start healing.
Yeah, so my husband and I have a thing we call OCR, which is own, correct, release. So it's like own your stuff if you need to own it, correct it, and then release. The other side has to release it.
Love that. And when you own, correct, and release, now imagine you could do it faster.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we do hold on too long.
We do, yeah. We're emotional. Actually, that's a habit that Suni over here and I were just talking about this morning, that I want to ask you to speak to, which is the habit of being emotionally reactive. Like if you get triggered by something.
Right.
And he was looking through your book, The One Truth, and talking about habits, in traffic, like what happens when you're in traffic. It says a lot about the type of person. It's like, are you going to just go, okay, I'm in traffic, what am I going to do? Or am I going to get reactive about it?
It actually tells you about your state of mind in that moment.
Yeah.
Maybe not about the person, because one day you're in traffic and it bothers you. The other day you're in the same traffic and it doesn't. It's not the traffic, it's actually your state of mind in that moment. When you're in a low state of mind, the traffic bothers you. Mm-hmm. When you're in a high state of mind, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. The idea behind this book is the more we actually engage in these positive habits, that will help us be in a higher state of mind. So when the traffic does come, we don't allow it to affect us.
And traffic could be anything. It could be...
Well, it's a circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that coworker who made a face when you were saying something at the meeting, and then, you know, you feel disrespected. And
but here's the thing. A habit that will help you is to look at every situation like that. The trigger is actually serving you. Mm-hmm. Why? It's revealing why it's bothering you. Mm-hmm. It's revealing the wound that you have that needs healing. Because God will bring up all these challenges and circumstances and adversity in order to reveal the wound that you have, so that you will heal the wound you have. He reveals it to heal it.
Yeah.
And the revealing part is great because, it's uncomfortable, but once you see it, you can then heal it and you can get better from it. And a lot of times we do have wounds and we're acting in certain ways because of the triggers. And we think the trigger is someone else. No, the trigger is always about you.
It's in you.
And when the trigger happens to you, it's actually a great thing because like, oh, okay, this is really bothering me. This is affecting me. Why? It's like Catherine, my wife. She loves to leave the dishes on the counter and in the sink. I'm someone who eats, and I love to just do the dishes, and I'm done. I put it away. Mm-hmm. It bothers me so much when I see all the dishes in the sink or on the counter. It just bothers me.
We're the opposite.
So but it triggers me.
It has to be clean.
For years, I thought it was about her. Like, why can't she just do this? Yeah. Why can't she do this? Why can't she do that? And now I realize it's not about her. It's not about her dishes. It's about me and why that is bothering me. Mm-hmm. And so the habit is to see that and how can I learn and grow from it so that it doesn't affect me.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit about something. I don't know if it's in this or not, but I know it's in your One Truth, which is heart coherence.
Yeah, I love heart coherence.
Yeah. And I know you know a lot about that. Yep. And I think that the more that you can be in coherence and have a habit of that, the more you attract more of that positivity and more of what you want into your life.
Yep. Well, the heart is the window to the spirit and the spiritual realm. The heart is. And so when our heart is in coherence, what that means is there's an alignment there, and it's a higher vibration. There's a higher energy to it.
And it's aligning with your thoughts.
It's aligning with your brain and your body. Yeah. Your whole body is in alignment. There's a coherence there. Mm-hmm. When you're stressed and anxious and fearful and worried, you're in discoherence. Yeah. But when you are feeling joy and love and peace and confidence and courage, there's a heart coherence there. Mm-hmm. When you have heart coherence, that allows you to have more alignment, but also a greater connection
with others.
And spiritually.
Because our heart is actually the force field around it.
Yeah, the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain, the electromagnetic field. Mm-hmm. And when you have a feeling in your heart, it goes to every cell in the body and then outward. Mm-hmm. And up to 5 to 10 feet away, people can sense your feelings transmitted by your heart. So you are broadcasting love, care, positive energy, or apathy, indifference, and negativity.
Anger, resentment.
And people feel that. And when two people are in coherence, there's a connection that happens, and the connection also creates the coherence.
Right.
And when people are not connected, you feel it and know it. And that's why in our relationships, we can feel the connection and we're flowing and everything's going great. And then there are times when I was like, do I even know you? And you feel disconnected.
Yeah, exactly. So for somebody who starts to have a habit and then they don't follow through, and now they feel guilty, and now they feel bad about themselves, or now it comes into the how am I talking to myself kind of a thing. What would you suggest around that?
I would say, is it you, or maybe it's the habit that you need to pick? Like maybe you need a better habit that works for you. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's not you. Maybe it's the habit that you don't really love and you don't really want to do. Because if you love it and you feel good doing it, you're probably going to want to keep doing it. So I would evaluate whether you need to change or perhaps the habit needs to change. If you need to change, don't beat yourself up. Just know that you're on a journey of becoming. And then you got to reveal and help uncover what's holding you back. What's keeping you from this habit that maybe you do love to do and know you want to do, and you're not doing it. What is it? Is it your habit before the habit? Is it life getting in the way? Is it an old wound? Is it something you have to let go of? Is it a feeling of insecurity? Is it a feeling of, or a pattern of, I always fail and never succeed? Do we have to change the programming of how we're speaking to ourselves and what we think about ourselves? Is it our identity? You know, I'm not someone who has success like this. I'm not someone who is fit. So every time I start to get fit, I fall back.
Yeah.
You got to change your identity and believe that you deserve this and that you can become this. So much of it is the optimism and the belief and the mindset to actually see what's possible and to visualize it. One habit I wish I put in the book would be to visualize yourself doing the habit before you actually do it.
That's part of the habit before the habit.
Yeah, because I think the more you actually visualize yourself doing the habit, the more you're likely to do it. And feel the feeling of the success of it, then you're more likely to do it. But again, the book is filled with so many simple habits that the idea is you do it and you feel really good about doing it. You feel successful, and then it's so easy to do. And before you know it, it's become a habit in your life.
So what's the hardest habit for Jon Gordon? What's been the most?
To not eat so many potato chips. And I've been looking at chocolate chip cookies all the time on my Instagram feed to not eat the chocolate chip cookie that I want. So I think, you know, because it's funny, the other thing I wish I would have put in the book is to get rid of your worst habit. I believe we should have a habit to get rid of our worst habit, whatever that is. And I believe we all have a worst habit.
Right.
And that habit is limiting you, holding you back, and it might even be sabotaging you. So it's about identifying what that worst habit is and getting rid of it. I came up with an acronym today, actually, called TRASH.
Oh, you're so good at the acronyms.
I was walking this morning, and I literally came up with an idea called TRASH on how to get rid of your worst habit.
Okay.
Basically, you write it down on a piece of paper, you crumple up that paper, and you throw it in the trash. So your worst habit, crumple it up and throw it out. And then T, take it to God. You don't have to do it alone. R, repent for how you feel about having lived with that habit and the things you've done and maybe the people you've hurt along the way because of that habit. And maybe you've hurt yourself. Repent. It's about starting new. Let go of the old to create the new. A, ask for a new habit. All right, God, what's a new habit that I can put into practice to replace this habit? S, sow this new habit into your life. What is sowing? It becomes a part of you. Weave it into your life, so now it's a part of you. And then H, as you're going forward, have faith on this journey. Have faith that you're getting better, you're improving, you're growing. You don't have to go backwards. You're picking new habits that are elevating you rather than that worst habit that drained you and held you back.
You and
Trash.
Catherine are two of the most, and I say this to anybody who asks me, even when you're not sitting in front of me, the most integrous Christian, people that I know.
Thank you.
And you've got pray in here as one of your habits.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Yeah.
Because you weren't always.
No, I didn't always pray, and I wasn't always
and you were
a
raised
believer.
Jewish.
I was raised Jewish. I wasn't always a believer. You know, when you say that with Christian integrity, I think it's just about doing the right thing. And it's about knowing that people matter more than profits, and relationships matter more than making money. It's about, at the end of the day, when you look at your life, like what matters most. There's nothing wrong with making money.
I think we were meant to be abundant.
I think it's great to be abundant and to make a lot of money, and I enjoy.
God wants us to be abundant.
I enjoy living a life of abundance because I have lived a life of lack. I have lived a life of lack with no money, and I've lived a life with abundance. And abundance is a lot better, but that's not your goal. The goal is to invest in the root, and if you invest in the root, you get a great supply of fruit.
Here's what I think about abundance. I do think that it's directly tied to your impact. And so the more impact that you're having, the more abundance you're going to see in your life, financially and many different ways.
I think it comes back to, like, when I decided to do this work, It was about making a difference and helping others. I wasn't thinking about how much money can I make in doing this. And so it's all about impact. Now, along the way, you face challenges, adversity, and setbacks to make an impact. And so as a leader, what do? I believe you pray. The more you pray as a leader, as a person, your capacity grows to be able to handle your problems. If your problems are growing, which they always will be, but your capacity isn't, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So we need the capacity. So how do you do that? You pray. The more you pray, the more you elevate your state of mind, the more you receive wisdom and peace and power to be able to handle and take on those challenges that you're facing. So prayer is so important. So I believe that prayer is a really important habit in your life. And I put that in there saying, hey, listen, this is not a book, a religious book, but I do believe I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't encourage you to pray more in your life to help you grow, to take on your challenges. Less anxiety, less fear, less worry, more faith, more hope, more love, more joy, more peace, more power. To me, that sounds a whole lot better than living a life of chronic worry, fear, and stress.
Oh, anger, resentment, jealousy, all of those.
Pray more.
Yeah.
And the more you pray, when you're praying, you're actually connecting to your Creator. We were created for connection, and through the power of prayer, you actually create a connection. And Corinthians 6:17 says, he who is joined to the Lord is one spirit with him. So when you're praying, your spirit and God's spirit becomes one spirit. Well, what's happening there? His spirit becomes your spirit. His power becomes your power. His love becomes your love. His healing becomes your healing. And if you're disconnected from God, this is God, this is you, this is where all the negative thoughts come in.
And that's where you talked in your One Truth book about the narcissist being the separate.
Okay, so you're separate. Narcissism, worry, anxiety, jealousy, bitterness, it's all coming in. Okay, now you're connecting to God. Can that negativity come in? No. So how do you connect to God? You pray. Connection and prayer.
I love that.
Yeah.
What does Jon Gordon's morning routine look like?
So I don't have a specific one like every single day because sometimes I'm on the road speaking and I have to speak at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. Other times I'm home, but every chance I get when I first wake up, I walk outside, I get sun, and I go for that thank you walk. It's usually about an hour, and I just walk and I practice gratitude. And
he happens to live in Florida, so if it's 30 below, maybe not so easy.
It's easier to do. But if you don't live in Florida and you're listening to this perhaps in the middle of the winter, then go take a walk inside if you can, or ride a bike and practice gratitude. Or walk in circles and practice gratitude, whatever you can. But for me, that's how I try to start each day, with gratitude, getting sunlight, prayer, and I come back, I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll shower, and then I'll take on the day.
Yeah, okay. What about journaling or anything like that? Do you do
I'm
anything
not
like
a
that?
journaber.
No?
I believe in the power of it. I know a lot of people love it and do it.
How many books have you written?
33.
33
I say I don't
books.
journal, I write. But I'm a big fan of journaling for those who do it, because I've heard such amazing things about journaling. For me, I'm always writing my thoughts down and ideas, and I would say X is my journal, where I actually am just posting my thoughts, and then I'll put them on Instagram, and then I'll put them on Facebook and LinkedIn. So I'm basically journaling to the world when I get a new idea. Like I'll get a new thought. Like one of the habits is to be a lifelong teacher. We always say be a lifelong learner, but I want to encourage people to be a lifelong teacher. Why? The more I learn, the more I know, the more I teach, the more I grow.
That's so good.
Because when you're teaching others, that's when you actually grow the most. Think about all the people you're teaching. You've probably grown so much since you started teaching and mentoring. That's when you've grown the most. Now, when you're learning, you're growing. You are learning, but when you're teaching, you have to learn it, teach it, figure out how to explain it, and then you really become an expert in it.
I've gotten better at it, than when I started.
Yeah.
Because of the right habits and being more authentic and showing up. I just went over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Come on.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I
Will
think
this podcast be on YouTube?
this will be on YouTube.
Let's go.
Of course. So say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
So I'm going to just ask you something. It's maybe a little bit more of a difficult question, but I think it's so important. I happen to know, and I'm not going to ask you to get into the details,
Okay.
but that you and Catherine have experienced betrayal in your life with people that you really trusted, with people that you really had a lot of respect for and close relationships. And I want to know, how does Jon Gordon handle that? You know, because I'm sure you have the sleepless nights like everybody else, and it preys upon you, it weighs on you. So how do you then go back to this and get out of that?
That's a great question. I've had sleepless nights about other things, more so with my kids and their struggles.
Yeah.
But with this, I have not had sleepless nights because I saw how God showed me the betrayal so clearly and how it all played out. And I also saw the path forward. But how do I handle it? It really is about forgiving fast. Like, I have had to really follow my own advice there. It's like my biological father left when I was a year old. When I decided I wanted to write, I couldn't write. I had writer's block. I went up to go visit him in New York, brought my daughter with me, and I forgave him. When I came back is when I was actually able to start writing. And I didn't realize this until recently, that that's actually what happened. And then as I was writing this book, I'm like, that's right. I came home, I forgave him, and then I started writing after that. Because I forgave fast, I was able to then start growing. I had to let go of the old in order to create the new.
That doesn't mean you let the person back in.
Well, here's the deal. I wasn't forgiving him for him. It was for me so I can be free. I was letting go of that hot coal.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say forgive fast, the faster you forgive, the sooner you start growing. I actually wish I would have forgiven him sooner because I would have been able to write sooner. But once I did, I started growing. With this betrayal that you're talking about, it's the same thing. It's like, I'm not going to hold on to that bitterness and anger. And I've actually forgiven that person in my mind. And I've also prayed for their healing because they need real healing. They don't know it or they don't think it. They can't see it, but they need some real healing.
Right.
And if they're open to it, they will heal because God wants to heal them. And I know it. So I actually pray for that healing. It doesn't mean we'll have a relationship.
No.
And we probably won't.
No.
But if that person could actually receive the healing that God wants for them, that'd be wonderful for me to see.
Of course.
Yeah, so I think that's how I deal with it. And you know that as you go through life, people are going to betray you. There's been people that we've loaned money to that have not paid us back. There's a lot of shysters out there that are in the influencer world.
I know something about that too.
Yeah, you know about that as well. And you know where all the bodies are buried. And at the same time, same thing. There was one time when it was really bothering me. And I'm like, I want to tell everybody about this person. I want everyone to know. I want justice. And I realized I was being consumed by the justice and the anger of it and wanting vengeance. And I think so often we want vengeance because I felt so betrayed. I felt so disrespected. How could someone just do this and then just walk away and not even care?
Yeah.
So you get angry, you get mad, and then you realize that's actually keeping me from creating something new. Let's not get lost in this. Don't let old battles keep you from new victories.
Yeah.
The old battles want you to keep fighting them so you get stuck and you don't create anything new. That's the spiritual battle going on. There's an enemy that wants to keep you stuck in the past so you don't create an amazing future. But by letting this go, we now create this energy in the present, have more energy to take on the battle, win the battle, and then guess what? We now can create a great future.
That is so good. This is such gold. Such gold. And I appreciate you being vulnerable and letting me ask about these situations.
Yeah, it's good for people to know. Like, hey, no one lives a perfect life. I know people in this space that have betrayed. Ken Blanchard, one of my mentors, one of the nicest guys ever. Tony Robbins has been betrayed by partners.
Yeah.
There have been people that have been betrayed, and you're going to get betrayed. And the question is, how do you respond? Do you let that person win, or do you win?
Do you give them your power?
Yeah, or do you win by creating an amazing future?
Yeah. You know, you were talking about your father. There's a book that Wayne Dyer wrote. It was his last book called I Can See Clearly Now.
Oh, I love that.
And the way that he wrote it out was it's different chapters, and each chapter was something in his life that he was able to see clearly that pivotal moment caused something else that was a moment of growth and something great in his life. And he talks about how his father had abandoned them when he was, I think, 5 or something.
Interesting.
And then his mom ended up having to put him and his 2 brothers in a
foster care,
foster care.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yes. And so when he went to go find his father, he finally found him. He was dead. And he ended up going to the grave, and he thought, I'm going to just, basically spit on it. I'm going to be so angry. I'm going to tell him what I thought. And he went there, and he actually was overcome with emotion and forgave him. And it was after that he wrote The Power of Intention, and his whole life opened up.
I've written 33 books after I forgave my father.
Yeah.
Over 6 million copies
So
sold and impacted people.
It's very similar.
If I don't forgive, I'm not writing these books. I'm not making a difference. So I want to encourage people, if there's someone that you haven't forgiven, that you're holding on to that bitterness, anger, and resentment, just let it go. Release that person, because you're really releasing you. This also works really good in traffic, by the way. You live in California.
Go back to traffic.
Yeah, forgive fast. Forgive fast. Someone cuts you off, forgive fast. Someone gives you the finger, tells you you're number 1, forgive fast. Just let it go.
Hey, somebody did give me the finger the other day, and I was like, oh, okay.
I know, isn't that funny? Someone gave me the finger the other day too. I'm like they're still doing that today?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was like,
all right.
Yeah, and other people would get triggered by that. It would drive them nuts. For me, I just laughed.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. My daughter, who's 24, she said she got the finger from somebody, and she goes, and I took it even more personal because they had the convertible top down. It was like right there.
Isn't that funny? I know. When people do that, just respond and go, you're number 1.
Yeah, good for you. So what would be the first thing that you would tell people to do in starting to form new habits? Like, what would be, I know you mentioned your Think You Walk, but like, okay, they're sitting there going, yeah, but, I can't get my way because the other person is this, that, and the other thing, or I have no money, or, whatever it is that's blocking them.
I would say, first get the book.
Yes, of course.
And then
anywhere books are sold.
Right. No, but I would say, not to be promotional, but get the book and then go through the 93 habits.
Yeah.
Pick your top 10. And then pick your top 3.
Okay.
And then say, which one do I want to start with?
All right.
And then you start with that habit. We asked ChatGPT, my marketing guy actually did this unsolicited. He said, what's the difference between this book and Atomic Habits? And ChatGPT came back and said, Atomic Habits will help you build better habits. The Power of Positive Habits will help you build a better life.
Yes.
So the idea is pick the habits that are sticky that will help you build a better life. And that's why I wrote this. I wrote this for people to say, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, and I'm gonna start putting that into practice. And as I do, I'm gonna feel great. Again, it doesn't work after a couple weeks. Don't beat yourself up. Go back and pick a couple other habits that will work for you.
Well, of course, I love Slay energy vampires.
Well, I know you like Slay. I know that.
That has to be a good one.
Yeah.
I also like Elevate Your Circle over here. That's a good one, too.
Yeah, the people that you surround yourself with will either hold you back or elevate you.
Yeah.
Who are you hanging out with?
Yes. I've been so intentional about that in my life now. All right. Well, where can people find you, learn more about you, find the book, all the good things?
They can go to jongordon.com, Jon Gordon.com. They can go to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, I'm on there. They can also go to the powerofpositivehabitsbook.com, powerofpositivehabitsbook.com. And when you go there, if you get the book, we actually give you a free habits developer, which is like a cool tool that we created where you put in your top 3 habits and it creates a customized 30-day plan for you and those habits.
For you.
Yeah, customized.
I love that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
This is in today's day and age of
using AI technology.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
we created, trained it, and it's been working. People are like,
so
how did you
good.
know me? And it just works. It's really cool.
Yes, I love that. All right, well, good. So go check him out. Go get the book, Power of Positive Habits. Beautiful cover here. And check out all his other books, too. Fantastic. Thank you, Jon Gordon. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
And if you like this episode, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. You share it with somebody who needs to see this today. Make sure you're subscribed here. And thank you. And we'll see you next time.